So, General Hospital just crossed a line we never thought they would cross. Willow Tate just accidentally murdered Tracy Quartermain at the lake, staged it as a tragic slipping accident, and now Harrison Chase is piecing together the foul play through a single damning bruise. Welcome back to the channel, my fellow soap addicts. It is a wild Wednesday, and I am losing my absolute mind right now. I am literally shaking. I cannot even formulate a proper sentence right now because what the actual hell did I just watch? I mean, I am sitting here in the dark, typing furiously on my keyboard at 2 in the morning because I need to get this out of my system before my head explodes. Willow killed Tracy. I repeat, Willow Tate, the former saint of Port Charles, the woman who used to cry over spilled milk, the ex-cult survivor who preached about morality to anyone who would listen, just caught a body. And not just any body. She killed the matriarch. She killed Jane Elliott's legendary, iconic, irreplaceable Tracy Quartermain. I am screaming. I am literally screaming at my television screen, and I honestly do not think I will ever recover from this episode. I have been watching this show religiously since 2015, and let me tell you, I have seen some wild, unhinged, absolutely ridiculous things happen in this town. I survived the memory mapping. I survived the Peter August reign of terror. I even survived whatever that whole Nixon Falls storyline was supposed to be. But this is the most insane, jaw-dropping, line-crossing twist they have ever pulled in the history of the show. Remember when they tried to make us believe sweet little innocent characters could suddenly turn dark? Like when they tried to make us believe certain legacy characters were suddenly mob bosses? Yeah, it usually feels forced and falls flat. But this felt so visceral, so raw, and so terrifyingly real. I am half celebrating because this is pure, uncut soap opera gold, and half complaining because how dare they take Tracy from us? Am I the only one who feels like they just ripped the heart out of the Quartermain mansion? Let's back up. Wait, I am getting way ahead of myself because my adrenaline is spiking and my hands are shaking. Let's really break down how we got to this fatal, life-altering moment at the Quartermain Lake. We all know the tension between Willow and Tracy has been brewing for months. It has been a massive powder keg, just waiting for a match. Tracy has been onto Willow's shady behavior, her weird obsession with Chase, her blatant disrespect for Brooke Lynn, and just her overall descent into absolute madness. So when Tracy lured Willow out to the lake with that fake text from Wiley, we all knew it was going to be a showdown. But a fatal one? I do not think a single fan on the forums predicted this. We thought maybe a slap. Maybe someone gets pushed in the water like a classic campy soap cat fight. Not manslaughter. The dialogue in that scene was absolute perfection, and I have to give massive props to the writers for building the tension so flawlessly before ripping the rug out from under us. Tracy was tearing into Willow, dragging her entire family through the mud, bringing up all of Willow's past sins, and just reading her to absolute filth. And then Tracy dropped the ultimate bomb. She threatened to take Wiley. She literally looked Willow dead in the eye, with that classic Tracy Quartermain sneer, and promised to use every ounce of Quartermain power, money, and influence to strip Willow of her custody rights. You could actually see the exact second Willow's brain snapped. Caitlin McMullen's acting here was chilling. The sweet, doe-eyed teacher vanished, and this feral, desperate animal took over. I mean, threatening a mother's child is soap opera 101 for triggering a psychotic break, but seeing Willow's face contort into pure hatred was something else entirely. And then it happened. The physical altercation. I am rewatching the DVR right now, as I type this, and my jaw is still on the floor. Tracy grabbed Willow's arm, her nails digging in, warning her to stay away from her family. Willow, completely blinded by rage and blind panic over losing Wiley, shoved her. It wasn't just a defensive push to get away. It was a violent, full-body shove, fueled by pure malice. Tracy stumbled backward in her heels. The camera went into this agonizing, cinematic slow motion. Tracy's foot slipped on the wet moss near the jagged edge of the lake, and she went down hard, the sickening crack of her head hitting that stone edging. I audibly gasped in my empty living room. It was so brutal. There was no dramatic final speech. There was no lingering breath where she forgives her killer. Tracy Quartermain, a titan of Port Charles, was dead on impact. I cannot believe they did that. Now, here is where my opinion of Willow completely shifts from desperate, cornered mother to absolute, irredeemable monster. If this was really just a tragic accident, a normal human being would drop to their knees. They would scream for help. They would pull out their phone and dial 911 so fast their fingers would bleed. Did Willow do that? No. She stood there, panting, staring down at the lifeless body of the woman she just killed. You could literally see the gears turning in her head, the realization washing over her. But it wasn't grief. It wasn't remorse. It wasn't even standard human shock. It was cold, hard self-preservation. She realized in that split second that if she reported this, she would lose Wiley forever. She would go to Steinmauer. So what does our former saint do? She decides to cover up a homicide. I am sorry, but Willow is officially the new Nell Benson. The irony of her becoming the exact thing she hated is just too delicious. The cover-up sequence was like watching a psychological thriller. Willow looking around frantically to make sure no one was watching from the mansion windows. Wiping her fingerprints off Tracy's coat with her sleeve. Carefully arranging Tracy's body to make it look like she had just lost her footing and suffered a tragic solitary slip and fall. The cold, calculating nature of it all literally gave me goosebumps. Wait, maybe she was just in deep clinical shock? Like, maybe her brain couldn't process the trauma, so she just acted on autopilot to survive? No, scratch that. I am not giving her a pass. I refuse. She meticulously erased her presence from a crime scene. She is a killer. And the way she just walked away, fixing her hair, and taking a deep breath like she had just finished a brisk morning jog. I was screaming at my screen. You are a psychopath, Willow. Can we talk about the massive, gaping power vacuum this leaves in Port Charles? Tracy Quartermain wasn't just a character. She was an institution. She was the glue holding the chaotic Quartermain family together, the sharp-tongued queen of ELQ, and the driving force trying to push Jen Sidwell out of deception. With her gone, the entire landscape of the show is in absolute shambles. Who takes over the family? Ned? Brooklyn? Michael? The corporate wars that are going to spawn from this single accidental murder will fuel storylines for the next 5 years. I know some people on Twitter are loving this because it shakes up the canvas and gives us fresh drama, but personally, I am devastated. You don't just kill off a legend without a massive fallout, and the writers better deliver the most epic aftermath in daytime television history to justify losing Jane Elliott. And speaking of the aftermath, enter Harrison Chase. Oh, the poetic justice of it all. The writers are absolutely cooking with this dynamic. Of course, it has to be Chase investigating the death. Chase, the man Willow used to love. Chase, the man she recently offered a job to in Washington, D.C. Chase, the devoted husband of Tracy's beloved granddaughter, Brooklyn. When Chase arrived at the crime scene, my heart was in my throat. Watching him look down at Tracy's body, the sheer professional heartbreak on his face. It was phenomenal. But Chase is a good cop. He is not just going to write this off as a clumsy accident for a woman who has walked those lake paths in heels for decades without ever tripping. The detail that is going to bring Willow down is so small, but so incredibly perfect. The bruise. When Chase was examining the scene and the coroner was moving the body, the camera zoomed in on this very distinct, finger-shaped bruising pattern on Tracy's upper arm. The exact spot where Tracy forcefully grabbed Willow and where Willow violently grabbed her back before the fatal push. Chase's eyes locked onto that bruise, and you could see the detective switch flip in his brain. A slip and fall doesn't leave defensive, gripping bruises on the bicep. Someone was with her. Someone fought with her. Chase knows it was foul play, and the fact that he is the one hunting the killer without realizing it is his ex-wife is the kind of juicy, dramatic irony that I live for. I am already dreading and anticipating how Brooklyn is going to react to this. BLQ has been dealing with so much lately, from the hit-and-run secret to Tracy breathing down her neck about the baby Phoebe adoption. Now, her grandmother is dead. When she finds out that Willow, the woman who has been making moves on her husband, the woman she threatened to ruin politically, is the one who killed Tracy, Port Charles is going to burn to the ground. Brooklyn is going to unleash a level of Bensonhurst vengeance that will make Sonny Corinthos look like a choir boy. And I am absolutely here for it. Destroy her, Brooklyn. Avenge your grandmother. Tear Willow's life apart piece by piece. But let's look at the other side of the coin. What is Michael going to do when he finds out? Because you know Willow is going to crack. She cannot hold this massive secret in forever. She is going to break down and confess to Michael. And then what? Michael has been setting up this elaborate cheating trap to push Willow and Chase together to blow up Brooklyn's marriage. But a murder cover-up trumps infidelity any day of the week. Is Michael going to use his mob ties to help her hide the evidence? Will he blackmail her? Or will this be the thing that finally shatters their toxic marriage for good? I am betting Michael tries to cover it up, because the Corinthos family never met a crime they didn't try to sweep under the rug. But Chase is too smart. He is not going to let this go. I know I am contradicting myself a bit here. One minute, I am furious that Tracy is dead and crying over the loss of a legacy character, and the next minute, I am vibrating with excitement over the storyline potential. But that is what being a soap fan is all about, right? We ride the emotional roller coaster. We complain about the writing, but we tune in every single day because we are hopelessly addicted to the drama. And this is peak drama. I haven't felt this invested in a murder mystery since the Who Killed Silas Clay days. The stakes are so incredibly high. Willow has everything to lose her political career, her children, her freedom, and Chase has everything to gain by solving it. But solving it will destroy the woman he once loved. So, what is my official prediction for the next few weeks? I think Willow is going to try to play the grieving friend. She's going to show up at the Quartermain mansion with a casserole and fake tears, offering her deepest condolences to Brooke, Lynn, and Ned. And Chase is going to slowly, methodically build his case. He is going to match the handprint size of the bruise. He is going to check the cell phone towers and realize Willow was at the lake at the exact time of death. And when the cuffs finally click around Willow's wrists in the middle of the Metro Court, it is going to be the most satisfying television moment of the decade. Please, General Hospital writers, I am begging you, on my hands and knees, do not let her get away with this. Do not write a brain tumor excuse. Do not say she was mind-controlled by Faison's ghost. Let Willow Tate be a villain. Own it. Okay, I need to wrap this up before the sun comes up and I have to go to work on zero sleep. But seriously, can we just take a moment of silence for Jane Elliott? If this is truly her final exit from General Hospital, what a massive, unforgettable way to go out. She delivered a masterclass in her final scenes, reminding us all why Tracy Quartermain is a daytime television icon. I am going to miss her snark, her scheming, and her fierce, uncompromising love for her family. Port Charles will never be the same without her cutting remarks and her brilliant business mind. Sound off in the comments, my friends. Are you as wrecked by this as I am? Do you think Willow will get caught quickly? Or will she slither her way out of this for months? Let's talk about it, because I clearly cannot process this alone.